Okay, let's just dive right in. Have you ever been scrolling through your feed and just stopped to wonder when exactly it turned into some kind of audition for a Greek sculpture exhibit? Yeah, you're definitely not alone. Today we're going to unpack this whole phenomenon of the hypervisible body online.
I mean, seriously, think about it for a second. The shirtless selfies, the gym progress videos, those muscles that look, well, just about impossible. It really feels like everyone, especially Gen Z, is putting their physique on full display. And you know what? This is not an accident. There's a really powerful engine at work here, and we're going to break down exactly what's going on.
So here's the key idea we're exploring. The body itself has become a new kind of digital currency. It's an incredibly effective way to buy something that is just priceless in our world today, your attention. So the big question is, how on earth did the human body become one of the internet's most bankable assets?
Well, it all starts with what you could call a perfect storm. It's this fascinating partnership, really, between our ancient hardwired biology and our super modern technology. So let's pop the hood and look at the engine that's driving all this. What happens when your brain meets the algorithm? Okay, let's start with the really basic stuff, our biology. I mean, for thousands and thousands of years, our survival literally depended on how quickly we could size someone up. Visible muscles, clear skin, those were ancient instant signals of health, of strength, of vitality. So when you're just mindlessly scrolling through a super cluttered feed, your brain just stops. It instinctively pays attention to the human form. It's a total reflex.
And this is where things get really interesting. Because it turns out our ancient programming lines up perfectly with the goals of modern social media. Think about it. Your brain is wired to notice bodies, right? Well, the algorithm is wired to notice what your brain notices. So the second you stop scrolling, you look, you engage, bam, the algorithm takes note. So what this does is create this incredibly powerful feedback loop. It all starts when some visually striking post, the six-pack, whatever, grabs our primal attention. Then we engage. Maybe it's a like, maybe a comment, maybe you even hate comment on it. The thing is, the algorithm doesn't care why you engage, just that you did. It sees that engagement, registers it as important, and immediately starts pushing that same content out to more and more people. It just amplifies it across the whole platform.
But okay, this isn't just about tech. It's not just some cold technological loop. For Gen Z, the generation that basically grew up with a phone in their hand, the body has become a whole form of communication. It's like a new language. So what exactly is it saying?
So what's this language all about? Well, a lot of the time, it's not just about sex appeal. A post showing off a physique can be a massive statement of confidence. It can be about declaring ownership over your own body. It can be a symbol of some seriously intense discipline. Or, hey, it can even be a way of pushing back against older, maybe more conservative ideas about what you should or shouldn't show.
And this quote, man, this really gets to the heart of it all. Think about it. In a world that can feel so chaotic, so uncertain, you're worried about your career, money, the future. The one thing you can control is your body. It becomes this little domain you can master. Building muscle, hitting a fitness goal, that's real, tangible proof that you can take charge of something. And of course, this is all happening inside a much bigger cultural shift, right? Gen Z, as a whole, is just way more open about breaking old taboos around the body. And at the exact same time, you've got hustle culture that's basically fused itself with fitness. So your body isn't just your body anymore. Nope. It's another project to be optimized. It's another metric to track your productivity and your success. Okay, so this brings us to a really fascinating paradox. There's this psychological tension here that makes this content so incredibly sticky and compelling. It's this really complicated dance between trying to be real and putting on a performance. You see, a huge value for this generation is authenticity. They want to be real. But online, what does being real even mean? Well, it often gets translated into a very specific visual language. The logic is kind of like, instead of just saying how you feel, showing your physical self, your body, your skin, even what you might call flaws, that's seen as a more direct, more honest way to be vulnerable.
And right there, that's the central conflict. A shirtless selfie or a sweaty post-workout video. It feels so transparent, so authentic. It gives you this impression of a raw, totally unfiltered moment, even if, behind the scenes, that moment took perfect lighting, finding just the right angle, and maybe, 50 other takes to get it right.
So you've got this undeniable tension, right? The vibe is all about being authentic and vulnerable and real. But the reality,
It's pure performance. It's carefully curated and totally optimized to grab our attention. And it's that blurry, fuzzy line right between the two that makes this stuff go so viral.
And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Whether you admire the incredible discipline or you criticize it as pure vanity, both of those reactions, they feed the exact same beast. Because there's only one goal that matters here: engagement. The moment you react, in any way at all, you're basically sending a signal to the algorithm that says, yep, this currency, it's working.
Okay, so let's wrap this all up. What's the big takeaway from this whole deep dive into the body as digital currency? What does your new digital anatomy actually look like?
It really boils down to four main things. Bodies go viral because, 1, they're biologically powerful. We can't help but look. 2, they're super algorithm friendly. 3, they're packed with cultural meaning for Gen Z. And 4, they're charged with this really compelling psychological paradox we just talked about.
And this might be the most crucial point of all. Social media platforms, they aren't just passive mirrors, reflecting the culture back at us. Not at all. They are active engines. They take our built-in instincts and our cultural trends, and they crank the volume up to 11, creating these feedback loops that actively shape what we see and what we end up valuing.
So the next time you're scrolling through your feed, I want to leave you with one last kind of provocative question to think about. In this crazy new economy of attention where the human body itself has become the currency, what is its actual value?